All right, sir, can I have your name, please?
John H. Kiner III.
And what are you doing here?
I'm a pilot for my own Aerolux Aviation in Nashville, Tennessee with a couple other guys. And we're here to help all the people that are stranded after the storm.
I can raise it up here, come on.
Just basically, we're in Nashville, Tennessee, saw the news of what was going on, and we decided, let's go help.
And what has been your experience, because there's been a lot of outrage and a lot of questions about the federal government's response. With you being here on the ground and in the air,
Yes.
what has been your takeaway from how they've handled this disaster?
Well, there is a complete and utter lack of federal government response. We think whoever's in charge right now flew by yesterday through the TFR. I've seen nobody on the ground. Ivanka Trump came yesterday, talked to us. Elon Musk guy's been here talking to us. Glenn Beck is here now talking to us. Have seen no one from the federal government to help out at all. Nobody.
And what do you think about that?
To be honest, it just pisses me off. This is our country. We should be being taken care of priority one instead of all the other countries. It enrages everybody here. 90% of us, there's about 100 to 150 volunteers here at this site. 90% of us are retired military. And it just pisses us off because we sweat blood, sweat and tears for this country, and they don't give back whatsoever.
And so what are some of the successes that you guys have been doing and that you've seen through this volunteer operation?
Oh, yeah. So we have multiple entities. Some of the guys live here in this town. We came from Nashville, Tennessee. There's guys from Texas. Everybody comes here. We've consolidated here. Everybody is starting to work together really, really well. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of water, fuel, oxygen, medicine, insulin, all that stuff we have been taking to people's houses and delivering to them. So insane amount of help just from normal civilians.
And how are all those supplies being procured?
There's a lot of businesses are donating them. They come in 18-wheeler loads. I'm not sure who the businesses are. All I know is 18-wheelers full of water show up, food, grocery stores. I think Ingles around here, the grocery stores donate a lot of food. And we consolidated here. We have 3 aircraft that we brought with us, and we consolidate it into 400-pound packages per aircraft. And we get the locals call us with a grid or address where they need food and water or medicine. We fly it out there and land in their yard and drop it off.
Can you estimate how many deliveries you guys have made?
Oh, goodness grief. Last 2 days, rough estimate, probably 100,000 pounds of food, water, and mainly food and water, and then, of course, medicine. Today, I dropped off 14 bottles of oxygen at one place.
What does this area need the most that you're aware of?
Honestly, this area the most needs construction crews. We have plenty of water and food. I don't mean to say plenty of water and food like we don't need any more. We have a lot on hand that we can distribute. They need road clearance and people to rebuild the roads. A lot of the roads are completely destroyed. When I say completely destroyed, they are gone. There is not even 20 feet of road to drive over.
And what's the one thing that you want the rest of the country to know about what's happening here?
To be 100% honest, the rest of the country, I want them to know normal, everyday Americans make the difference. Don't depend on the federal government. They're not here to help you.
What the hell's wrong with these people? I mean, these aren't the same people that you and I worked with over these many years. I just don't get it. I mean, in a national tragedy, you love Donald Trump so much that you're going to parrot that kind of crazy out there and promote conspiracy, which, quite frankly, could wind up having people hurt and harmed, not getting the resources and the help they need because they're following Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene stupid down a rabbit hole?
Yeah, it's very clear to me. Republicans are not sending their best and brightest to Washington anymore. It is unimaginable to me that at a time when so many of our fellow Americans are suffering, going through probably the worst experience of their lives right now. And what do these politicians decide to do? Politicize it. And what does Donald Trump try to do? Spread lies about it. He was saying that the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, couldn't get in touch with Joe Biden. The governor said that wasn't true, that Biden offered him anything that his state needed. Now Trump is out there saying that FEMA, they don't have enough money for relief for the victims of the hurricane because they were using that money on undocumented immigrants. Right. And the crazy thing is that Washington Post did a fact check, and it was actually Donald Trump during his administration who is taking money from FEMA in the relief fund to use on undocumented immigrants, not the Biden administration.
And on that, I don't.
And here we are now staring down a Category 4 monster. We're getting these real-time updates from the hurricane hunters, and they had in bold caps locks on this latest statement from them that they were experiencing severe turbulence in the southwestern portion of the storm, where they measured winds in excess of 162 miles per hour at flight level. If it's strengthening rapidly, that's when you get that type of turbulence. So how in the world did we get here? Well, very warm ocean waters, and now 150 mile per hour storm with a 10 nautical mile wide pinhole eye. Centripetal force is allowing this storm to spin faster, actually doubling the criteria for rapid intensification in just about a day's time. Here's the projected path. This is so important. DeSantis talking about it. It has slowed down in its expected arrival time, so late Wednesday into Thursday.
The recent hurricanes, Helene and Milton, have left a trail of devastation in their wake, serving as stark reminders of the awesome power of the nature and the fragility of human life. The death toll continues to climb, with hundreds confirmed, lost, and countless still missing. The economic impact is staggering, reaching billions in damages across affected areas. Homes are reduced to rubble, businesses lie in ruins, lives are irrevocably altered. The scale of the destruction is difficult to comprehend, even from afar. Images from the disaster zones depict scenes of utter chaos and despair. The sheer magnitude of the loss is enough to shake even the strongest among us. Yet, in the face of such adversity, we also witness the indomitable spirit of humanity shining through. Hurricane Helene, a tempest of unprecedented fury, first slammed into the coast, bringing with it torrential rains and winds of unimaginable force. Coastal communities caught in the storm's direct path bore the brunt of Helene's wrath. The storm surge, a towering wall of water, swallowed entire neighborhoods, leaving behind a wreckage of shattered homes and broken dreams. We spoke to Sarah, a young mother, who rode out the storm with her 2 children in a makeshift shelter. The noise was deafening, she recounted, her voice trembling with emotion. I held my babies close, praying for the nightmare to end. When it was finally over, we didn't have anything left. Our home, our belongings, everything gone. The devastation wrought by hurricanes like Helene forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about our place in the world and the forces that shape our destiny. Are these catastrophic events merely random acts of nature, or could they be something more? The Bible, in its infinite wisdom, offers profound insights into the times we live in. Matthew 24:7 speaks of the times preceding the end of days, a period marked by wars, famines, earthquakes, and yes, even famines and earthquakes in various places. While we must be careful not to hastily interpret every natural disaster as a direct sign of the apocalypse, it would be equally unwise to ignore the clear warnings embedded within the scriptures. These events should serve as a wake-up call, prompting us to examine our lives, our priorities, and our relationship with God. As if the wounds inflicted by Helene weren't deep enough, another monster storm, Hurricane Milton, is now churning in the Atlantic, threatening to unleash its fury upon an already battered region. The storm, currently a Category 4 hurricane, is projected to make landfall within the next 48 hours. Coastal communities are bracing for impact, with mass evacuations already underway. The atmosphere is thick with tension and uncertainty. People are glued to their televisions, anxiously monitoring the storm's progress. Supermarket shelves are empty as residents stock up on essential supplies. The memories of Helene's devastation are still fresh, and the fear of what Milton might bring is palpable. The recent surge in extreme weather events, culminating in the back-to-back devastation of hurricanes Helene and Milton, has ignited fervent discussions about the end times and the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. These hurricanes, with their unprecedented strength and destructive power, have left communities in ruins and have forced thousands to flee their homes, seeking refuge from the relentless onslaught of nature. Some see these events as undeniable signs of the approaching apocalypse, pointing to the increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters as evidence of a world spiraling towards chaos. The floods that have submerged entire towns, the wildfires that have scorched vast landscapes, and the earthquakes that have shaken the very foundations of our cities all seem to echo ancient warnings of a world in turmoil. Luke 21 verse 25 speaks of a time when there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. The celestial events we witness today, from solar and lunar eclipses to unusual planetary alignments, have led many to wonder if these are the very signs foretold in Scripture. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. The violent storms and rising sea levels that threaten coastal communities worldwide seem to fulfill this prophecy, leaving many to question what the future holds. The language is undeniably evocative, mirroring the very anxieties we grapple with today as we witness the earth seemingly tremble beneath our feet. The ground shaking, buildings collapsing, and the sheer terror on people's faces during these events are stark reminders of our vulnerability. While we must avoid falling into the trap of date setting or making definitive pronouncements about the end times, we cannot deny the sobering parallels between biblical prophecy and the unfolding events of our time. The discussions and debates continue as people seek to understand the significance of these occurrences and what they might mean for our future. Whether these are truly the signs of the end times or simply the result of natural cycles and human impact on the environment, the conversation remains as relevant and urgent as ever. Section 6, Beacons of Hope, Stories of Resilience. Amidst the wreckage and despair, stories of human resilience and compassion offer glimmers of hope. Neighbors helping neighbors, coming together in the face of adversity. Strangers sharing food and shelter, creating bonds that transcend the immediate crisis. In these moments, the true essence of community shines through. First responders tirelessly working to rescue survivors and provide aid to those in need. Their dedication and bravery are a testament to the strength of the human spirit. These acts of kindness and selflessness remind us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit endures. Volunteers from all walks of life come together, united by a common purpose. We met with a group of volunteers from a local church who were distributing hot meals to displaced families. Their efforts provide not just sustenance, but also a sense of normalcy and comfort. We lost our home in the storm, one volunteer shared, but we're grateful to be alive and able to help others. Their resilience and positive outlook inspire those around them. This is what our faith teaches us: to love our neighbors as ourselves, especially in times of need. The power of faith and community support becomes a beacon of hope. Their words and actions serve as powerful reminders that even in the face of unimaginable loss, love, compassion, and the unwavering belief in a brighter tomorrow can light the way forward. Together, they rebuild not just homes, but also the very fabric of their community, stronger and more united than ever before. Section 7, Finding Strength in Adversity, a Divine Promise. The devastation caused by these hurricanes can leave us feeling overwhelmed, questioning why a loving God would allow such suffering. The sheer magnitude of the destruction can shake our faith and make us feel abandoned in our darkest hours. It's in these moments of doubt and despair that we must cling to the promises found in Scripture. These sacred texts offer us a beacon of hope, a reminder that we are never truly alone, even when the world around us seems to be falling apart. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." This verse is a powerful testament to God's unwavering presence in our lives, assuring us that He is always by our side. "I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." These words offer a profound sense of comfort, reminding us that we are supported by a divine force greater than any earthly challenge. Psalm 46:1 echoes this message of comfort and reassurance. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. In times of crisis, these words can be a lifeline, offering solace and a sense of security. These verses are not mere platitudes, they are powerful declarations of God's unwavering love and faithfulness. They serve as a reminder that no matter how dire the situation, we are never beyond the reach of His grace. He is with us in the midst of the storm, offering strength when we are weak and comfort when we are overwhelmed. His presence is a constant source of support, guiding us through the most challenging times. It is through faith, prayer, and reliance on His promises that we can find peace and hope, even in the darkest of times. By turning to God and embracing His word, we can navigate the storms of life with a renewed sense of purpose and resilience. Section 8. Answering the call, love in action. The needs in the aftermath of these devastating hurricanes are immense. Families are left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Communities are grappling with the monumental task of rebuilding. The road to recovery will be long and arduous, but together we can make a difference. Proverbs 19:17 reminds us, "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and He will reward them for what they have done." Now is the time to answer the call to action. We urge you to open your hearts and wallets to support the affected communities. Every dollar donated, every hour volunteered, every prayer offered can make a tangible difference in the lives of those who have lost so much. Let us come together as a nation, united in compassion and driven by a shared commitment to help our neighbors in need. Section 9. Facing the future, faith, hope, and preparedness. As we move forward in the wake of these disasters, let us do so with a renewed sense of faith, hope, and preparedness. The recent hurricanes serve as stark reminders of the unpredictable nature of life and the importance of being spiritually and practically prepared for whatever may come our way. Let us strengthen our relationship with God, seeking His guidance and solace in times of uncertainty. Let us build resilient communities, fostering a spirit of unity and support. And let us never forget the lessons learned from these storms, for in adversity lies the opportunity for profound growth and transformation. May we emerge from these trials stronger, more compassionate, and more committed to living lives that reflect the love and grace of our Creator.